with coverage you can count on. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. A teenager was rushed to the hospital tonight. He was shot while walking home from work.
It happened in broad daylight on 10th Avenue. Chattanooga police have detained what they're calling a person of interest. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Josh Roden joins us from Chattanooga's east side with more details. Josh?
Good evening, Greg and Cindy. The young man who was shot is in serious condition. Earlier this afternoon, crime scene tape surrounded 10th Avenue as investigators searched for answers.
Horrible, horrible. I don't know how anybody could do something like that to someone.
Angel Sherrard says it was the nephew of her friend who was shot on 10th Avenue. She says he was coming home from work.
When she came out to say I love you, there was someone standing there and they shot her nephew in the face.
Sherrard says after she heard multiple shots, she saw a man with the shotgun get into a car and it drove off. Sherrard said she immediately went to comfort the wounded teen.
Get a towel. I didn't think it was a good idea to lay him down because of his injury. It might choke him. I just asked him, are you okay? Can you breathe? Do you have air?
She stayed with him until help arrived. Sherrard says she can't believe someone would do this. She says he is a good person.
He's not just like in the streets hanging out doing, whatever. He works. He's 19. He's trying to do something.
Sherrard has questions for the shooter.
It's horrible. It's horrible when people, they just walk up to you, point to you, blank to your face, and just shoot you with a shotgun right in your face. Back out here live, Chattanooga police are searching for all leads. If you have any information that can help them, give Chattanooga police a call. On Chattanooga's east side tonight, I'm Josh Roden, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Several different fire agencies battle a large house fire in Appleton this evening. It was reported shortly before 6 o'clock on Wesleyan Road. More than half a dozen fire crews responded. And firefighters tell Channel 3 smoke was visible from a mile away. When they arrived, a large portion of the house was completely engulfed in flames. A neighbor says she saw smoke and called 911.
Smoke was coming around the edges of the eave, and by the time I got done speaking with 911, flames were already starting to come out, and siding was melting. It was going up quickly.
No one was home when the fire started. One firefighter was treated there for heat exhaustion. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation.
And just a half an hour earlier, Chattanooga firefighters responded to a brush fire near Amberley Ridge Apartments off East Brainerd Road. Officials say the fire was moving fast and threatening to involve some buildings in the apartment complex. The cause was traced to two young boys who admitted to setting an old camping chair on fire in the woods. When the fire spread, the boys said they panicked and ran away. Officials say the fire scorched about half an acre of brush and trees. The boys may face legal consequences. No buildings were involved and no injuries were reported.
Georgia voters headed to the polls today for primary elections.
The polls closed at 7 this evening and most of the results came in fairly quickly.
In Catoosa County, there were 4 contested races in today's election. Board of Commissioners chairman, tax commissioner, sheriff, and state representative for District 3. All of those races were on the GOP ticket.
Let's check in right now with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Sidery. She has tonight's results from Catoosa County. Sarah.
Cindy and Greg, election officials were not expecting a huge voter turnout tonight, but there were still several big races in tonight's election. It was a very close race for Catoosa County Commissioner Chair. Stephen Henry beat incumbent Keith Green by just 52 votes. Also, many eyes were on the race for sheriff. Current Sheriff Gary Sisk was reelected, taking 67% of the votes. And we talked to several voters earlier about what brought them out to the polls tonight.
We've been out here like a little over 3 hours, and it's hot. Had a lot of just really friendly people going by, though.
Gina Rear cast her ballot early so she could spend her election day encouraging others to get to the polls.
It's important for our county. It's important for our people.
We weren't really sure what to expect because we had a really busy presidential preference primary, our busiest ever, with like 13,000 voters.
Election officials say Tuesday's voter turnout didn't come close to the presidential primary race. They expected a smaller turnout of just a few thousand people.
We kind of felt it might be a little bit slow, and it has been a little bit slow.
Several voters stayed out here for the long haul, volunteering to hold signs for their favorite candidates.
We've been out here since about 7:30 this morning.
Tommy Sisk is out here supporting his brother, Gary Sisk, in the sheriff's race. But he says all the races mean something to the people who live here.
The outcome of this dictates what happens in the county. There's a lot of different stuff going on with the tax commission race and everything else, so we just hope for a good turnout.
Election officials are expecting a much bigger turnout for the upcoming presidential election in November. We have a full list of tonight's results posted on our website, WRCB-TV.com. Reporting live in Ringgold, Sarah Sidery, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Sarah. In Walker County, two men faced off for the right to take on long-term Sole Commissioner Beebe High School. She is running as an independent. Mike Pearden and Shannon Whitfield ran against each other. As you can see from the screen there, Shannon Whitfield, a resounding winner in this part of the race, picking up 75% of the vote over Pearden. Now Shannon Whitfield will go against Beebe High School in November.
In Dade County, an election for sheriff. You see the results there. Incumbent Ray Cross wins convincingly, 71% to 29%. Also in Dade, voters were asked about medical marijuana. This was on the Democratic ballot there, and medicinal marijuana prevailed 72% to 28%.
In Murray County, an election for sheriff. Take a look. The incumbent sheriff, Gary Langford, held off challenger Ricky Bishop. Langford picked up 55% to Bishop's 45%. And on the GOP side, results for Murray County's sole commissioner, the incumbent, Brittany Davis Pittman, lost to Greg Hogan. She received 48% to Hogan's 52% of the vote.
With more than 100 different races, we're just able to scratch the surface here on the air. Find a full list of Georgia primary election results on our website, WRCB-TV.com.
A crash in Dalton claimed a man's life this morning, but 3 young children inside the vehicle with him are expected to be okay. Officials say a driver in a pickup truck crossed the center line of Airport Road and hit a Suburban head-on. The driver of the truck was injured and airlifted to the hospital. The driver of the Suburban died in the crash. 3 children and a female passenger in the Suburban were all taken to the hospital. Right now, it's still unclear why the truck moved into the wrong lane.
We do know that the driver of the Ford Ranger is a third shift employee at a local carpet mill.
Authorities say they'll release the identity of the man who was killed once his next of kin has been notified. Charges against the truck driver are pending. Let's check in with Paul Barris. It's first weather, 11:07. What about it, Paul?
All right, Cindy, we're going to have a fairly nice day for tomorrow. Temperature is going to be just maybe a little bit warmer, and humidity levels just a little bit higher. It's going to be fair and mild in the morning at the bus stop with 63. By afternoon, it's going to be summery with 85 and just a few clouds. We've been watching a huge cluster of storms that's been moving through Missouri and through Arkansas. Now it's in Tennessee, out in your West Tennessee, with a few showers and thunderstorms with this. Not much lightning with it, though, just a little bit right now. And it is fading as it's moving into drier air. As it moves into Middle Tennessee and Northwest Alabama, it should fade out. We're not expecting any rain here out of this system. But there's other clusters of storms moving through Tulsa. Out in your Dodge City, they've had numerous tornadoes, lots of severe weather out there. And then all the way to the Panhandle in Nebraska, severe weather's been breaking out for about the 3rd day in a row, and another batch of severe weather will occur for tomorrow. Looking at the satellite photo, we've got fair skies here, maybe just a few high clouds, but a lot of the clouds out here are going to break apart, but the tops, or the high tops, they're going to start to overflow our area, so we're going to see a lot of high clouds moving in later on tonight and through tomorrow. Winds are lighting out of the southeast, 74 in the city, a little muggy right now, 66 in Cleveland, 68 Dalton, and 63 out near Fort Payne. Pollen count still pretty high. 86.54 the high and the low for today. And Skywatchers told me 80s pretty much south of the city. Only spot that wasn't in the 80s was Fort Mountain at 76. Dalton got up to 58. Cleveland was 82, but downtown Dalton got into the mid-80s. Ooltewah was 87, while East Ridge and Ringgold at 85. Dayton was 84, Pikeville 85, and 83 out near Cagle Mountain. While Turtletown at Pleasant 78, Murphy at about 80, and 85 in Athens, also in Etowah and Jasper. Here's the latest Vipercast showing just a few high clouds again for tomorrow. All the rain, the green, is off to the north of us by tomorrow afternoon. And again, a few clouds overnight for tomorrow night. In the morning, Thursday morning, some showers to the north. But into the afternoon, we'll get some daily heating, and we'll get those scattered thunderstorms popping up mainly into the highest elevations coming up into Thursday afternoon. Into Friday in the morning, really not much happening, just a few clouds here and there. And we're thinking Friday afternoon, not as much rain, so just a very small chance coming up Friday afternoon. Now Saturday, most rain should be off to the west too, but by afternoon we may see an isolated shower storm, but nothing really big. Pinpoint forecast says Cleveland tomorrow, warm at 88 degrees. And we'll call partly cloudy skies, mainly high clouds. Copper Hill should be about 85. Tonight, 62. Some high clouds moving in late tonight as we get the blow-offs from those big thunderstorms out west. 88 tomorrow, and mainly sunny skies, just a few scattered clouds. 66 tomorrow night with light winds, and that 7-day forecast. Thursday, 87, and on Friday, 87. And 20 to 30% chance pretty much for the rest of the week, right into the weekend, and even the beginning of next week. Very little change. Humidity levels going up a little bit, so that should increase our chance for rain, maybe coming up into the weekend. We need that rain, and we all do, because we're all in a moderate drought right now. Cross your fingers. That's the only way we're going to get anything of any consequence right now.
The grass is crunchy, and the dirt is like cement out there in some places.
It's been very dry. 6 inches below normal almost since the beginning of spring.
That hurts. Thank you, Paul.
After the break here on Eyewitness News at 11, we're learning more about the 51-year-old man who died while swimming in this year's Ironman competition.
Tonight, we hear from his friend who was with him just before the athletes took to the water. The full story next.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
2 days after an athlete died during the swimming portion of Ironman, we're learning more about what caused his death in the Tennessee River.
Preliminary reports show the man suffered a heart attack during the swim, and his death has been ruled accidental, or natural causes, more preferably to say. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kelly McCarthy has more on the man's full life and his dedication to others.
He was strong, he was a competitor, he was fierce, and I wouldn't have guessed it could have happened, but that's just the reality of life. You just don't know.
Colonel Gene Montague was a 51-year-old father, husband, combat Army veteran, former New York City police officer, and lover of all things athletic. He was competing in the Chattanooga Ironman 70.3 to raise money to end prostate cancer. One of his Team Zero teammates, John Pearson, says he was with him just before the race started.
By the point that I had met with Gene, we were in the swim start line, and we were just, a minute from jumping in the water.
Pearson was nervous for the race and says Montague could tell. Before jumping into the water, Montague turned to his new friend and gave him a high five.
And at that point, I was just so fired up, and that high five is just a special moment and how I'm going to remember Gene.
Once Montague started the swim portion of the race, tragedy struck. Montague's family says they're still shocked to learn he died of a heart attack because he lived such a healthy and active lifestyle. But Dr. Charles Campbell says even though healthy people are at a lower risk for a heart attack, it can still happen to anyone.
There aren't always warning signs. Sometimes this is just bad luck. And there's nothing, the first sign, in about 20 to 25% of the cases, people don't seem to have a warning sign that they're going to have a big heart attack.
Colonel Montague lived in Virginia and leaves behind his wife and 4 children. His friends and family say he'll be remembered for his achievements in the military and martial arts, and for the love he gave his family.
That was Kelly McCarthy reporting. His family tells us this was not his first race as a swimmer, but it was his first Ironman competition.
Colonel Montague will be buried at Arlington National Cemetery with full military honors. When we return to Eyewitness News at 11, a new report shows the amount of Americans who smoke is at a record low.
And we've all probably known a sore loser in our lifetimes, but one Florida man may take the cake when he smashes in a game because he lost. We have the story straight ahead.
Welcome back. The young man accused of killing 9 African Americans during a Bible study will face the death penalty. Federal prosecutors say Dylan Roof shot and killed those 9 people at the Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina last year. Attorney General Loretta Lynch released a statement about the decision to pursue the death penalty, saying, quote, "The nature of the alleged crime and the resulting harm compelled this decision," unquote. Authorities say Roof targeted the victims because of their race.
In Pennsylvania, a judge has ordered entertainer Bill Cosby to stand trial for sexual assault. The judge ruled there is enough evidence for Cosby to be criminally tried on charges he assaulted a former Temple University employee at his mansion in 2004. Cosby said in a deposition the encounter was consensual and has repeatedly denied similar allegations from about 50 women. Right now, this is the only criminal case against Cosby. He faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted.
No one likes to lose, but when a Florida man repeatedly lost at a quarters game inside a convenience store, he didn't just get mad, he got even. Police say he attempted to play the game several times without a win, and he walked out to his car, grabbed that little sledgehammer there, played the game one more time. Apparently frustrated again, he pulled the hammer out, smashed the machine, appears to reach in the machine and grab some change, maybe $1.50 or something, and walked out of the store. Police are still looking for him.
I have a good picture of him, though. A new report shows an increasing number of Americans are kicking the smoking habit. The report from the Centers for Disease Control shows smoking rates fell to a record low of 15% last year. That's down 27% from 2009 and 64% from 1965 when the survey was first conducted. Experts say a combination of higher tobacco taxes, smoke-free air laws, and improved tobacco prevention and quitting programs have contributed to the decline. Coming up next in sports, the highlights are back from Murfreesboro with Paul Shaheen. He's back too. Spring fling, baseball, softball, and soccer.
Plus, the Mocs land a big-time hoops transfer, and a former Mock lands with an NFL team. He'll tell you all about it. Paul Shaheen has sports next.
Two games. That's all you're promised at the Spring Fling on the Diamond. 5 local teams will put game 1 away today. Win that and you get at least 2 more. Not a bad deal, right? First stop in Murfreesboro today was Loretto and Meigs County. Baseball, the Tigers wasting little time at the plate. That is Logan Fowler with an infield single. Sometimes you just got to put it in play and things happen. But sometimes bad things happen, like this. 2 batters later, Fowler caught in no man's land. He's out at third. Same inning, Hunter Burke makes sure no one gets caught here. Burke goes back up the middle. Walker Malone hustling home. It's 1-0 Meigs County. But in the third, Loretto breaks it open. Thanks to the big guy Ryan Weathers, blasted to deep center, deepest part of the park. There goes the ball, there goes the lead, and there goes the game. 11-1, Meigs County now faces elimination with Gordonsville tomorrow, 11 a.m. The only other local baseball team had a better night. That was McCauley, who beat Brentwood 1-0 in the quarters. They advance to the winner's bracket final tomorrow, 1:30 in the afternoon against Christian Brothers. Now to the softball side of things. The Tennessee Valley is still well represented there with 5 teams at the Spring Fling. Let's start with the all-local matchup, that being Silverdale and Meigs County at the Starplex. A little small ball to start for the Seahawks. Leadoff walk by Ellie Birchfield. Same inning, Birchfield now on the move. Lindsey Newell down the line to left. Birchfield comes around to score. It's 1-0 Silverdale. And the Tigers, Well, they took a while to get things going offensively, but when they did, it paid off. Meigs stays in the winner's bracket, 3-1 over Silverdale. Meigs plays Summertown tomorrow at 5. Silverdale faces elimination with Scotts Hill at 11 a.m. One more from the single A bracket today on the softball side. A big win for Marion County, 4-1 over Midway. So the Warriors are into the quarterfinals. They play Huntington tomorrow, 6:30 in the winner's bracket. Division II AA softball now. GPS and Pope John Paul. Bruisers pitcher Hannah Kinser. There's Hannah Kinser, pounding the strike zone early and often in this one. And then when they did hit it, Kinser had the defense to back her up. It's the rare 6-3-2 double play. Short to first to home. A perfect tag from Haley Smith behind the plate. GPS rolls 10-4. Your final score. The Bruisers advance to the winner's bracket final. Thursday, they play either Baylor or St. Benedict. Yes, 12-4 that was. So here's the matchup. Baylor had today off. They play now St. Benedict, as mentioned, in the quarters tomorrow morning at 11, as mentioned. Again, the winner plays GPS on Thursday. That would be the winner's bracket final, and a local one it could be. Finally, on the soccer field tonight, only one local team in action. Notre Dame falls to CAK 3-2 your final. The Irish eliminated, so Macaulay is the only other local soccer team left. They play in the semis tomorrow at 5 against MBA. Let's hit the big league diamond now. The one at Turner Field, that diamond in Atlanta. Yeah, that one where the Braves have won just 2 games this year, still looking for a 3rd home win. Tonight they had Milwaukee in town, the first of 10 straight home games. Here's how it went for Atlanta on offense. Bases loaded, no outs, a laser to third. Caught, doubled up. There's 2 outs, inning ended, no score. Top of the 8th, now 1-1. Here's your difference. Scooter Gennett, liner to right. Viare racing home. That's Jonathan Viare beating the throw. Throw was way off. The Brewers win it 2-1. Hey, the UTC basketball team just got a little stronger today as the Mocs landed a big-time transfer from the University of Iowa. Shooting guard Andrew Fleming, a freshman, is officially now a Moc. Fleming played his high school ball at both Ensworth and Nashville and Oak Hill. Great prep school out of Virginia. The kid can flat out shoot. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He will have to sit out this season. He'll have 3 years of eligibility left after that. And congrats to former UTC defensive lineman Derek Lott, who signed with the Philadelphia Eagles last night, just in time for the first round of OTAs in Philadelphia, which started today. Lott graduated in 2014. He has now spent some time with both the Titans and the Bucks. That's now 4 former Mocs in the NFL. Now,
and we're waiting for more, too. We've got more that need to have more invites.
We certainly do, and the talented recruits they keep getting in, who knows for the future as well. And quickly, Super Bowl 53, get ready. Start saving now, maybe.
Tell those construction workers to get on the ball down there. So if you see LIII, that's what we're talking about.
And we're talking about,
just use the
Atlanta, by the way, in case you haven't seen it. We have the story online and in our app. Super Bowl 53, 2019.
Thank you, Paul. Paul Bears has your 7-day forecast when we get back.